And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Alright, today we're talking about Heroica. This is a game that I was really excited when I first heard about it because LEGO last year started making board games. And I mean, this is a win-win situation because it's a board game, woo! And it's LEGO, woo! So if the board game's no good, at least you can play with the LEGOs. But this was a LEGO board game that is a dungeon crawler, basically. You have little guys who walk around through the dungeon and get weapons and potions and things like that. Sounds very exciting. Now, it comes in 4 different sets. We have 3 of them. So we're going to take a look briefly at how the game works, kind of a quick overview of how the game works, and then we'll come back and we'll tell you if it's any good or not. In Heroica, you're going on an adventure, and you're going to be using one of several characters. Here's 4 different characters. Each version has different characters in the game, and you can see this guy here, who is way out of focus, is a knight. Next to him we got a rogue and a barbarian, and the red guy is a magician. Now, these guys will come with a packet or a hero thing, and you can put the guy on here to start with. Look at him, hoorah! But this is basically to be used for that character. Those red tokens here are life points, and you take those off as you take hits. And then these spots here are for weapons. So if I get a sword, I can put this sword in here to show that I have a sword that I can use as the game progresses. Each of these guys has their own special ability that they can use during the game. Like, for example, the barbarian can kill everyone next to him and move a spot. The wizard can defeat a monster up to 4 spaces away. So each of them has their own special ability that they can do. And then there's monsters. Now, most of the time, monsters are just simply, they have a certain strength. So here's some of the monsters that you'll come across in the game. We got goblins and zombies, and then here's a bat too that can come. Over here are some potions. These potions can be picked up by your person, put onto your pack, and these can be used to replace hit points or to let you move spaces. And there's weapons. You can buy these weapons with gold, and you get gold through various different ways over the course of the game, usually by killing monsters. And then we have over here, this is partially one of the areas that you can go into. You can make up anything you want. The book has certain spots that certain places that you can put together, and you can see, there's different features here, but mostly you have these spaces, and you just hop your guy from one space to the next space as you move. On a turn, you're going to be rolling a die, and this die, you'll be looking at it, and it will show you how many spaces you move in the white. See, there's this one, move 2, move 3, move 2, and then each die has a shield on it. When you roll the shield, you can move up to 4 spaces, or if your character has a ranged skill, they can use it. For example, the wizard has a ranged skill to defeat a monster up to 4 spaces away, even around corners. Or you can use the bow and arrow, which is a weapon, which can be used to defeat a monster 5 spaces away in a straight line. And you can do that if you roll this during the movement phase. If you could become adjacent to a monster in melee, then you attack him. And then you look at the other half of the die to see what that is. So, for example, here, I defeat the monster, but I take health equal to his strength. Here I defeat the monster. Here I don't defeat them. I take, hits equal to his strength. And here, if I have a melee, I can defeat the monster. Or if I have a melee power, like the barbarians, I can use that. And so it's a very, very, very simple concept. But you can take it farther. You can start adding in different areas to the board, and you can go from campaign to campaign. Each of the campaigns has something special in it. For example, one of them has this helmet that gives you 2 extra hit points, and when you get that, now your knight has a helmet, and he can wear that helmet and use it on future battles. And it's like a relic. You can come across a locked door that you can't go through, but you might find a key. And then you can put the key on top of the door to show that that door is now unlocked. The game comes with 4 different boxes and series. What I'm showing you right now, this is the pieces from 3 of them. Here's a whole pile more that we have in a box, and we have some more in another box. I also bought a special case that fits a lot of the stuff in the game. You can see how it has spots here for the people. It has spots for the hero packs. It has spots for many different things. Although, interestingly enough, I have 3 of the 4 sets, and that's way too much stuff for this box. So I'm not sure what this box is for, if it's just for one set or not. One of the things that this box did come with that I do like is a board. And while the board is not really, necessary for playing the game, what it allows you to do is it allows you to put your stuff on top of it, and then you can, when you're in Dreda, you can put the Dreda section over here. It just gives like a nice background to it, and it has a board, which makes the game cooler. So other than that, you can play different ways. You can just go through by yourself and try to beat all the monsters. Usually it's defeat the Goblin King, defeat the Goblin Chieftain, get a certain relic. Or you can go through mission to mission, or you can have one player play the bad guys and move them. And there's different rules for that. But basically what I just showed you is the simple way of how to play the game. Alright. If you play Heroica, there's the difference between the sets is really size. Dreda is the smallest one, has 2 different heroes and 2 villains. Then some have 3 heroes, some have 4 heroes, etc. So there's a difference in size. You can put them all together, and you have a bigger set. So we have 3 together, and that's pretty cool, right? Lots of different heroes and weapons and special things that you can get a hold of.
It's a lot of fun building them.
Let's start with this, and I'll ask Melody the questions, and she's the expert on this game. Okay, the building it, is it hard?
Sorta, if you don't really know what you're doing.
Okay, is it easy to play?
Yes, it is.
Is it complicated at all?
The special case is kind of hard to pack.
Is there a lot of strategy, or is it mostly luck?
Strategy.
You think so? There's not luck in it at all?
Maybe luck in the die rolling, but...
Do you wish there was more complicated, or is it simple? What do you think? Tell us what you think about the game.
I really want it to be more complicated because if you only get one set, it's a lot better to have all of the sets because it's really boring just having one. And putting them all together makes it a little longer and more complicated, and trying to shoot the king and kill him and finally win and get the helmet of...
the helmet, the special helmet. I think that the base, getting 1 is not worth it. You should get 2 at least. The case, it's okay, but like I said, it doesn't carry everything. But, Melody, you are a fan of these kind of games. The Dungeons & Dragons, the Castle Ravenloft. Is Heroica better than these?
No.
This is a better game?
Mm-hmm.
And so you would rather play this.
Heroica is more of a smaller kids version of that.
Yeah, I would say that Melody's right here. Heroica is a game that is for the young set. We're talking like 6 to 10 era of playing these board games, and it's a good way to introduce the dungeon crawl. But once they get to 10 or 11, they're probably going to think it's a little too simplistic. That doesn't mean it's bad. I still like it, but it's more of a passing pleasure, and it's all about the Legos and the fact that you can rebuild it any way you want. But if you want something meatier, then the Dungeons & Dragons board games is probably more your style. And if you want something meatier than that, Descent. And if you want something meatier than that, then just play a role-playing game. Okay? But that's Heroica!
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.